Hello, this is Allie with Mystic and the Monk. Today I've got a story for you that comes from my own journey, from when I was a little girl, some dreams that were repeating in my life up until the woman that I am now, and a piece that I got answered that has for me many lifetimes of a experience, a place that I know that I've lived many times before as different people, but I could never quite understand where that place was, and I found it in a really interesting experience after a session. So if you're liking our videos, I would be so grateful if you would like and subscribe so you could get notified when we make new ones. And also it will help us to reach more people. For now, let's begin our story. My story begins as a little girl, thinking that I had a wild imagination. I would find myself in a huge castle. The ceilings were so high. I had never seen ceilings at this point in my life so high in my whole life. But I knew that the walls were stone and they felt very lonely. I was always alone when I visited this place. And I thought, if I'm visiting such a beautiful castle, why don't I have more memories or imaginations that I am a beautiful woman with a gown and opulent food and happiness? But every time I found myself there, I found myself walking through a long corridor, and I was all by myself. And I always felt as if I was sneaking up to a window. And through that window, I would see a great space beyond me. And I was never allowed to go out onto that green grass or slip into the trees that were outside. And at the same time, I also saw this castle as if I was floating above. So I could see it from the inside out, as well as seeing it from above as if I was being sucked inside. And in this picture, if you're looking, there's about 4 windows here. And I was always sitting in this little space here. I knew exactly where I was when I found this photo. So how did I find it? Ever since I was a little girl, I would think, is this place real? Am I psychically seeing some place? Or did I see it in a movie? Where is this place? But I never really did. Back then, you didn't really, if you saw a movie with a castle, you remembered the movie. Many times as I grew older, I started to wonder if it was a past life where I felt sad and trapped. I could always look out and see the water and the lawns, the trees beyond it. And I felt as though I longed to be a regular person. Maybe I didn't have as much, but I didn't care about things. They did me no good. I wanted freedom. I wanted to be like everybody else. Interestingly enough, growing up as a psychic, I very much longed to hide my psychic gifts. In fact, it's only been recently, even though I've been able to help a lot of people with my gifts in my lifetime, there was a big part of me that just wanted to be like everybody else. It's sometimes a great burden to know things about people and things that other people find make you scary or something to be afraid of. The reason why this is important is because so many of these feelings matched who I am today with different limitations and different desires. How I came across this castle was just about 2 weeks ago, and I was finishing a session, and the session had some themes that made me think that I was seeing into somebody's coat of arms from another life. And after I did that research and found what I needed, I thought, I haven't looked up the Neville, I'm Allison Neville, coat of arms in a very long time. So I looked it up, and right next to our coat of arms was this castle, and I literally dropped the phone. I had asked my whole life, Holy Spirit, if this castle is real, please someday help me to find it. Maybe I'll be in Europe and I'll come across it. Well, the internet has made going to Europe a lot easier these days. But I never knew how to search for it, and I certainly didn't know there was a Neville Castle. My mother always told me that we came from a royal line, the last of the Plantagenets, but it wasn't something that I felt connected to, and maybe in a lot of ways psychically feared. I felt that maybe my bloodline was not linking me to good things. So I think I sort of always shunned that part of myself or a bloodline. So the day that I came upon this castle, it felt like I did drop my phone, but it felt like all time stopped for me. Flooded all of these feelings and emotions about feeling stuck, feeling that my life was not my own, feeling that I needed to live within somebody else's rules. And I remembered so many things from sitting in that castle window, feeling like the whole world was going on without me. And here I was in this window with everyone doing what they needed to do, and me being a Rapunzel trapped within a castle. What's so beautiful is that with those feelings came such a deeper understanding, knowing, a discernment that I had been stuck in a trauma loop for a very long time of feeling like all of a sudden I remembered that I made an unconscious agreement that I never wanted to have anybody else have a say over me. I saw wealth as a trap. I saw status as a trap. I wanted to be free. I wanted to be poor. I didn't understand, what poverty was. But I thought poverty meant freedom. And so I saw in myself these unconscious agreements that I made to struggle. And although I've always had enough, I always had kind of like security issues. Through this knowledge, I felt a freedom that a belief was being returned to me of where I created separation around abundance and manifesting that I didn't know that I had, because I've always been really good at thinking about just manifesting enough. I was always comfortable with just enough. And then things would happen that would threaten that just enoughness, and then I would feel afraid. It was amazing to touch the fear that I put around wealth and having the feeling of always being provided for, and especially with losing my 30-year business after COVID with the spa that I was so comfortable with, and going through a divorce where a lot of my financial comfort had gone away. I felt this new feeling of needing to change my consciousness, but I didn't know how. And so I kept telling Spirit, bring me the experiences that will help me to understand what I need to do to feel true financial freedom. When I saw the picture of this castle, I realized that I made an agreement with fate that security and freedom were somehow attached to having things. And when I realized it, a huge aha went through my body, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm done. I'm free. I'm free now in this moment to create whatever it is I want through my thoughts and through my emotions. Have you ever felt this way? Share with me in the comments. I'm so interested if you're interested in more videos that talk about manifesting. For the last 20 or 30 years, I started seeing past lives, and every single time I saw one, it had a direct link to my trauma loop. And I didn't have to really dig too deep. It was like it was bubbling up from deep within me from the Holy Spirit, the consciousness of love, right? From Creator, saying, hey, your karma's ripening. You're ready to look at this contract and see if you still want to be making this thought agreement, this feeling agreement. Today I want to invite you into using my circumstances, because it's just one, but it was a real recent one and a big one. Although it seems a lot of my past lives usually were attached to certain traumas and fears. This one was that, but not as deep. This one was more security, right? Do you have repetitive dreams or repetitive themes that pass through your life that make you feel like that make you feel like I don't have a specific experience from this life, but I have a big fear around this. And did you wonder, where did it come from? Why is it looping in my mind? Why am I dreaming about it? Why do I have stickiness or stuck energy around certain concepts that I don't feel like I really can touch what it's related to? I have so much experience with past life work with my clients. And so many times when people want to have a past life regression, I like to tell them, listen, this isn't going to be like a sideshow thing, like, oh, I'm Cleopatra. It's really about where's the skip in the record. And when you identify that, especially with a psychic like me, we see the feelings, the thoughts, the emotions, the circumstances. And for me, God reveals how that stuckness matches your current stuckness. And how when you identify it, it literally leaves your body. Tell me about your thoughts about this. Is it weird? Does it seem like I'm a kook? Do you relate? Have you always had similar feelings? Talk to me. I want to help people all over the world to set themselves free. This is just one small circumstance, but since it was so recent, I really thought it'd be fun to share. if you're interested in getting a past life regression or doing a session with me, I'm a cold reader. I don't need cards. I don't need divination tools. I just scan your field. I pray for you. And all of a sudden, I just know. It's so fun to have a reading with me. So if you're interested, you can contact me at the email here and also message me as well on YouTube. You can find me at mysticandthemonk.mn.co, and that's a free social media platform that I have with David Satosky. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I'm looking forward to taking you on a journey, and I'm looking forward to being your personal solutionist. We're going to get to those answers. We're going to dig up underneath all that is you and find out more. And if you're just here for the videos, dig deep. There's so much free offerings here for you to, inspire and explore what your spirit is bringing up for your current growth. We're going to meet you at any level that you're at. David's in the business of happiness coaching. I'm in the business of solutions and deep psychic work. And we're here to support and love you through all of your travels on this earth plane. Have a wonderful time exploring our channel. And thank you for coming. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.